Hello, I'm your module leader, Dr. Xiangping Du, for Business Research Methods. Last week, we have discussed the interrelationship between knowledge, research, and literature. By now, I hope you understood the importance of research and which generate knowledge. And you must have reviewed some literature which is relevant to your research and which aims to develop more knowledge out of your research. And in this session, I'm going to ask you, what is the purpose of your research and what knowledge your research aims to develop? So the purpose of your research, or the kind of knowledge your research can generate or aims to generate, actually can be indicated from the way how your research question is formulated. It could be what, or how, or where, or why, or when. So to put it in a aim format, so it could be starting with the reporting verbs. Explore. Your research could be exploring something, or which is related to exploratory research, or your research may aim to describe something, which refers to descriptive research, or it could be explain something in relation to explanatory study, or evaluate something in relation to evaluative study, or your research could be a combination of some of the above. Exploratory studies or research is a research where I want to find out what's happening by seeking new insight of a topic of interest or clarify understandings or assessing phenomena in a new light through search of the literature or interviewing or conducting focus groups, kind of primary research. So for example, if we look into the organizational changes in an institution, so if you want to do exploratory research, you may want to explore how staff members react to organizational changes. So where you may need to speak to the staff members to say how they react to it, whether they're happy, unhappy, what aspect they're happy, what aspect they're not happy. So it's kind of exploring into their insight and then to get more understanding out of it. So descriptive research or study is where you portray or gain an accurate profile of a person, event, or situation. So taking the organizational change as an example again. So if you want to do a descriptive study for the organizational change, you could be describing the process of organizational changes. So what changes they are, who's involved, when the changes happen, where. So it's kind of give a portray of the whole event, when it happens, why it happens, kind of, what happened, and so on. Explanatory research is where I study a situation or problem in order to establish or explain the causal relationship mainly between different variables. So if you still look into the organizational change, you probably would look into the relationship between different variables. You may want to look into why a particular group of staff members are more resilient to the change than other group of staff members from different social cultural background, or with different age ranges, or with between different genders. So where you're looking into the relationship between variables, between age, gender, social cultural background. Where evaluative studies or research is to evaluate or study how well something has worked. So for example, the organizational change again. So instead of looking into what happens, why it happens, for evaluative research, you probably would look into how well this organizational change has been, how's the process, how well it has been managed, so it's kind of evaluative the effectiveness, assess how well it's gone. So as discussed above, with one particular phenomenon or issue, or observation, organizational change. So the events of organizational change. So your research, or you can start your research or work on research from different angles. So the purpose of your research will be different, either exploring the insight, to get understanding of people's reaction to organizational change from an exploratory perspective, or you may just look into the relationship or causal relationship between different variables, explaining the causal relationship from exploratory study point of view, or you could have start from a evaluative perspective and investigate or evaluate how well it's done, or it could be a combination of all of the above. So the way how you approach research can be very different, and depends what is the emphasis or the focus of your research. So there's no right or wrong what you should do or how you should do it, and the most important thing is what you want to get out of your research. So what is the purpose of your research? What kind of knowledge you want to generate out of your research? So that's the essence of your research. So you have to find out the main research question, whether it's how, whether it's what, or whether it's how well, for example. So this can all be illustrated from your main research question or from your main research aim. So you can use all these reporting verbs: explore, describe, explain, evaluate, as part of your main research aim. So the final goal that your research would like to achieve. So once your main research question is finalized and you understand the purpose of your research and the kind of knowledge you'd like to generate out of your research, and next you have to consider the philosophical underpinning of your research and the approach that your research is going to undertake. So therefore, from the Saunders textbook, you will find this research onion, which explains to you the philosophy and approach the theory development we're going to talk about in the next slides this week as well.